Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the McMinnville, Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, August 21st. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you. So last week in McMinnville, I show we had only 6 new properties kind of come on the market. You can see that that's a weekly low for the past 8 weeks. Down from 8 the prior couple weeks, and ended the week at 61 homes again on the market. You can kind of see that that's been very, very steady over the past month on a weekly basis. Has not moved at all, so been very stable on the inventory front. The median price and the days on market for the active listings, you can kind of see that hasn't been a lot of variability there either. Had a high of 623, a low of 597. Past couple weeks been right at 620. Days on market has been moving up, as you can see over this past month, as not a lot of new things have been coming on the market, and things are staying on the market longer. That days on market's kind of getting driven up to this last week came in at 37 days of average market time for the active listings. Moving along to the pending sales, I show that we had 4 properties go pending last week in McMinnville, and again, that's a weekly low for the past 8 weeks, and you can kind of see we've kind of continued just to have a dwindling of pending activity in McMinnville. Started at 90 this last week, came in at 69, down 3 from the prior week. Median price and the days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see the trajectory here. It's 524 was the high, got down to 472 about a month ago. Last 3 weeks been right at 500. It's been pretty steady the past 3 weeks. And then days on market really has not moved a whole lot on the pendings. You can kind of see we started at 6 and got down to 4, and we've ended at 6 is the most recent reading. And then lastly, we'll look at the sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this information together, I show we had 5 properties go from pending to sold last week in McMinnville. And that's, again, kind of towards the lower end of what's been happening on a weekly basis. And when I look over the prior month or the last 4 weeks of activity here, the most recent reading is 31 homes has closed in McMinnville. And you can kind of see that matches a low for the 8 weeks here as well. So, pending and closed activity is definitely is decreased over the 8 weeks here. Median sold price and the days on market for those sold listings, you can kind of see that's been kind of coming down in terms of the price. We were at a high of 500 8 weeks ago, and it's been dropping the past month. You can kind of see this last week came in at 450. And then days on market's been a little more steady. Started at 7 and got up to 9 this last week, kind of dropped down to 4 days of average market time for the solds. And then finally, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the OLP, or original list price. Red bars is weeks of inventory here. So you can kind of see that we started with about 4 weeks of inventory 2 months ago, and it's been kind of steadily climbing as the market has been slowing down. And this last week came in at just under 8 weeks of inventory. So we've kind of had a doubling, roughly of the inventory level over the last 2 months. Certainly, indicative of the kind of the market slowdown we've been talking about for quite some time here. But, with 2 months of market time, or 2 months of inventory, I should say, I mean, that's still, historically speaking, more towards the seller's market situation, just, not as hot certainly as it was. And then the sale price as a percent of the list price, you can kind of see that's been, hasn't moved a lot, had a high of about 101%. And the last few readings has been closer to kind of full asking price, and that's kind of where it was this last week. So, prices are for the most part holding, and sellers are kind of getting close to what they're asking for. But, they're having to be on the market a little longer, and, more inventory to kind of compete with from what we've experienced, earlier this year. So hope this weekly update has been helpful and informative for you. If I could ever be of any help or answer any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number is 503-680-2065, and I'd be happy to talk with you further. If you found value in this, please give me some likes, some comments that you have, and please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be great. Follow along on a weekly basis. So as always, I thank you for watching and have a great day.